Hello, my friend. Welcome to this masterclass. I am so excited. I'm going to be sharing with you something that I discovered that helped my wife and I eliminate $180,000 of just credit card debt, and today we are debt free. But before we talk about this issue, I want to read from my Confidence for Living Wealthy book from page 116, and it says this: according to the Social Security Administration, if you observe 100 people at the start of their working careers and follow them for 40 years until retirement, here's what you'll find. Only one person out of those 100 people over 40 years, only one person will be wealthy. 4 of them will be financially secure. 5 will continue working, not because they want to, but because they have to. 36 will be dead. 54 of them will be dead broke, dependent on a meager Social Security check, their relatives, their friends, and even charity for a minimal standard living. My friend, I've said time and time and time again, God has destined you to live wealthy. And when we read these statistics, we find out that 5% of people end up successfully wealthy, and 95% end up in financial failure. God does not want you to be part of the 95%. God wants you to be a part of the 5%. He said he'd make you what? The head and not the tail, above and not beneath. But I got to be honest with you, my wife and I, we were part of that 95% club. We thought like them, we taught like them, we behaved like them because what? We learned from them. And that's what got us in $180,000 of credit card debt. You say, well, man, how did you do that? Well, listen, we knew we were in trouble. I mean, the signs were all over the place. We were taking one credit card to pay the next credit card. We were in deep trouble, and we knew it. So we went to the gurus, and the gurus told us what? Hey, focus on getting out of debt. Focus on getting out of debt. And it seemed like the more we focused on getting out of debt, the more debt we got into. And then they would tell us other money saving solutions. They'd say, live below your means. And so we worked hard to try to live below your means. But you know what's funny? They never taught you how to lift your means. Wow. How to take where you're at and lift those means to the point of where you want to live, where you desire to live. Never taught us that. They would teach us things like pack a sack lunch. They'd teach us, how to save toothpaste. So instead of buying 3 tubes of toothpaste in a year, you could buy 2 and save money. They'd teach us, stuff like drive an old beat up raggedy car. They'd teach us stuff like, hey, avoid all fashion trends, just wear same old clothes that you've been wearing for the last 5 to 10 years. They'd tell you deny your wants, don't go to movies, just stay home and watch TV. And man, if you do go to movies, wow, popcorn is just so expensive. Don't go to the movies, don't buy any popcorn, and maybe stick some candy in your in your coat pocket and eat that inside the movie theater, even though you're not supposed to. And so we started to try to do all this, and my wife and I were like, man, this path stinks. Our life stinks. We're miserable. And here's what we learned. We learned that where focus goes, energy flows, and results show. And meaning, what you focus on, you move towards, and what you move towards, you start attracting. And so what I started to learn is that if I focused on getting out of debt, if I focused on cutting back, if I focused on scrimping, living below my means. If my mind was focused on scarcity, guess what kind of lifestyle I would live? Yeah, you got it. A scarcity lifestyle, a poor lifestyle. And that's exactly where most middle class to poor people are. When they're facing financial challenges, what do they think about? Cut back, reduce, shrink down. But I want to move you over to abundance thinking, not scarcity thinking, but abundance thinking. And abundance thinking chooses to think on different things. Abundance thinking chooses to think on increase. Abundance thinking chooses to think on abundance. It chooses to think on income. It chooses to think rich thoughts. And guess what? When your focus goes in that direction, guess what's going to happen? That's where your energy is going to flow. And then that's where your results are going to show up in your life. And man, I thought, wow, I got trapped into small little thinking instead of thinking big. God is a big thinker. And the Bible teaches us in Proverbs 27, verse 3, it says what? As a man thinketh in his heart, what? So is he. So if all you do is train people how to think scarcity, what kind of people are you going to have? You have a bunch of people who are all scarce, who are all broke, who are all struggling. I know I was at a church just last week. Thousands of people were there, and I was talking about some of my new material I have coming out. And the pastor said, well, we have so-and-so's training, and we've had thousands and thousands of people go through the training. And I'm like, great, that's awesome. I said, how many people are debt-free over all of these years of having this training? He said, well, we've had about one or two. I'm like, one or two. Thousands of people have gone through the training, which is, in my mind, it's more scarcity-based. Thousands have gone through, yet you only have two people who have succeeded. And here's what I'll tell you. If you want to maintain a scarcity mindset, you can use the old pattern, the old guru way. But man, I'm going to tell you, you're going to be on the slow boat to China, and there's going to be a huge chance that you'll give up. But when we started to think in abundance, when we started to get our focus right, man, that's when things changed. You see, the old taught us focus on getting out of debt. So we thought, watch this, we thought debt was our problem. We thought money was our problem. And if you don't know what the real problem is, guess what? You won't be able to solve it. You'll be solving wrong problems. So the day that our life changed was the day that the aha button went on, and we realized our problem wasn't money, wasn't debt. Our problem was resources. Our problem was income. We needed more income pouring into our life so that we could smash that debt, so we could eliminate that debt and start building massive wealth for my wife and I to reverse the negative trends that we were already facing. So I want you to get that. Income. What's your problem? If you're struggling financially, what's your problem? Income, 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 income. Let me prove it to you. If I wrote you out a check for $2,000 and said every month I'm going to send you $2,000 every single month, would that solve some of your current financial problems? I know it would. So what did I do? I solved your problem by providing what? Income. In the same way in your life, if you'll get more income coming into your life, guess what? It'll solve a lot of your financial problems. Now, the way you get more income coming into your life is through two ways. Number one, I taught you earlier, whatever your profession is, you need to set a goal to become what I call BIW, which is best in the world at what you do. You need to become an expert. So you need to start studying. You need to start gaining more skills. You need to learn about confidence. You need to learn about leadership. You need to learn about wealth. You need to start building these things so that you'll become an expert at what you do. And when you become an expert, people will pay you an expert wage. More income will come in. So the immediate thing you need to do is say, hey, how can I become the best at what I do? But the second thing is what I want to talk to you next about, and I'm really excited. This second point right here changed our lives. And it's this: in order to get more income, you got to create multiple streams of income. That's right. Multiple streams of income. When we first grabbed onto this, it was a game changer. Now, I want to show you on the back screen how this works. First of all, you got a mountain, and on one side you got a lake of wealth, and on the other side you have a little tiny pond of wealth. So over here you have people who are not poor or middle class. You have people who are living in the wealthy place. This is the 5%, this is the 95%, okay? Here's your mountain, and here's your two different classifications of people. People who have a lot of wealth, people who don't have much. Now, every pond has one stream that fills it. Okay, so somehow, if you have a body of water, somehow, some way, you've got to have a stream. You've got to have some water that comes into that small water to keep water inside of the pond. So every pond will have one stream, okay? So here's most people. Most people only have one stream of income in their life, so that's why their pond is very small. Now, what happens to most people? If something happens to their stream, guess what? If no water's coming into your pond is going to turn into what? It's going to turn in, you got that. Let me show you. It's going to turn into a desert. Absolutely. Now let's look over at how the abundant thinker thinks. Not the scarcity thinker thinks, how the abundant thinker thinks. And the abundant thinker has multiple streams of income coming into their lake of wealth. Now, whether you're rich, poor, or middle class, it doesn't matter. We all face crisis. Crisis is a real thing. And so in this scenario, suppose the person has a job, you get a pink slip. Something happens, your job goes away, and that hits you. So a job, J-O-B, we joke around, we say that's just over broke. A job will keep you always just over broke. So in this scenario, we see that if that happens to you through your job, you're in big trouble. Now, in the same way, a person who has multiple streams of income, they have multiple ways of how income comes into their life. If something gets stuck, if something happens, if a crisis happens in any one of these streams, you still have the other streams to make up for it. Okay? Now, for me, I want you to know, I want you to see this, speaking. So when I started to realize if I'm going to build a lake of wealth versus a pond of wealth, when I faced my financial crisis, see, all I had was one stream, which was speaking. Right? So when I discovered what my problem was, I said, man, I need to get multiple streams of income going on in my life. So when I decided to do that, you see, that's when things started to really change and my wealth started to increase and my debt was eliminated. So I said, well, I'm going to build these additional streams. I'm going to keep my speaking, which that's what I do, but I'm going to add on coaching and consulting. And so what I said is I'm going to build my skills, I'm going to start learning, studying, and I'm going to gain knowledge and skills to become a coach. And then I learned even more to move beyond coaching into consulting. Then I said, what other stream can I think? Because I'm thinking streams. I'm thinking abundance. I'm not thinking scarcity, cut back. I'm thinking, I got to keep adding streams. I got to keep adding streams. Then I said, okay, I'm going to start writing a book. I remember my mother-in-law's house. I worked day and night to get out my first book. So I became an author. You know, today I woke up, I talk about making money in your underwear. I made money last night when I was asleep. I woke up, I opened up my cell phone and beep, 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 beep. All these purchases for one of my old books from a long time ago, people were buying them all over the world. And I don't even know where. So that's another stream. Then I added products. I added DVDs, I added CDs, I added more products, more training like this on. Then I also added, I added Destiny College on. Then I added investments. Then I added my real estate. So you see, I now have created, over a few years, I created multiple streams of income. Now this is important because of this. I want to show you this. When I had my heart attack, right? I had my heart attack. They told me, you will not be able to speak for, they said like 6 to 8 months. So guess what? This was a stream right here. This was my speaking. Now it got cut off. So the first time when I experienced a crisis and my stream got cut off, I was in my mother-in-law's house. I was in hell. The second time I experienced a major crisis in my life on my heart attack, I didn't go to hell because guess what? I had these other streams. Even though I couldn't speak, my Destiny College, my investments, my real estate, my books, my products were still speaking, and I could still coach people. I had people come to me and I coached them while I was healing. See? So, even with this, you could have a multiple streams. There could be 2 streams that could dry up. Like I remember there was a time when my coaching kind of dried up a little bit and my real estate dried up. And because here in Florida, we experienced a 40 to 50% cut in real estate. So man, this stream right here just, man, it went bad on me. It went south. And then my coaching started to reduce for a while. And you know what? All of a sudden, my speaking just picked up big time. And my college picked up big time. So you know what? These 2 crises didn't even affect me because of these other multiple streams. It didn't cause me stress. So these are really key things that I want you to learn on this. And the reason why this is so important is because of your debt, how to accelerate that. You see right here, your pond here is always usually equal to the size of your debt. Because what do people do? People naturally, whatever their income is, they spend it. So their debt is equal to their pond, and it just seems like it's going to take you forever. And the truth is, on this pattern, you could do the old style way. You could scrimp, cut back, but like I said, it's going to take you a long time to eliminate that debt. Okay? But if you look over here on the lake of wealth, that's why we did it like Pac-Man. I might be dating myself on that, but you see the lake of wealth, this is huge. The debt is insignificant compared to the lake of wealth that you're generating. This is why, have you ever noticed small companies buy bigger companies? You know why they do that? Because of this factor. Because if you buy a bigger company, the debt that they are in right now is insignificant compared to the bigger company. Because if you buy a bigger company, that bigger company will just swallow up the debt, and instead of going bankrupt, they can continue to move forward. That's why they do that. So, this is how that all works for you and for your life. So you got a pond, you come down, now you got a desert. If you lose something, something happens in your stream. Now watch, this desert is like a little grain of sand, right? You go from a pond to a grain of sand. How big does that debt look as if you're a grain of sand? It looks like, man, that's impossible almost. So this is why this is so important that you create multiple streams of income. Income. And this will help you. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about as we look at this. So you see multiple streams of income is what you need to begin to start thinking about. Now, the biggest mistake that I run into over the years is, as I've taught other people, the biggest mistake people make is going outside of their expertise. Meaning, what they'll do is they'll say, I want to create another stream of income, say real estate. They don't study, they don't develop an expertise for real estate, they don't know what they're doing. They go out, they see house flippers and say, hey, I can do that too. And they go out, they do dumb decisions, and they don't know what they're doing, and they lose money. And now they're in worse shape than what they were before. No, that's not what you want to do. Don't make that mistake. Notice what I did. Inside of my own expertise, I built these additional streams. So in all 7 of these areas, number 1, I was already familiar with it, like coaching, books and products, a leadership college. That was all inside of my knowledge. Then I built expertise later on in what? Investing and in real estate. So that's what you want to do. You've got to start building your knowledge. You got to build understanding, and you got to build wisdom in those areas. That's why that's why I created the Confidence University, so that we could help empower you and give you the knowledge and understanding that you need to grow in the area of your finances and to grow in these other areas, so that you could build real wealth and eliminate your debt. Now, what's the easiest streams that you can start today? How can you get things rolling today? Well, an easy stream for many of you listening is coaching. If you follow this whole training this whole time, here's what I know about you. You could make a great coach. There's something inside of you. There's a hunger inside of you to not only improve your own life, but I guarantee you there's a hunger inside of you to help improve other people's lives. And that's what coaches are all about. If you have a desire to help people, building a coaching business is a very easy step to be able to generate a stream of income. You could do it on Saturdays, you could do it on Sundays, you could do it after you worked your job at nighttime. You could work it for a few hours. Coaching some clients. See, because remember I said, what would $2,000 extra a month do for you? Do a lot for you. So coaching is one of the easiest ways. And in our Confidence University, if you sign up for that, you see inside of that, we give you the first phase. We have several phases, 4 of them. We teach you how to be a life coach. We teach you how to be a leadership coach. We teach you how to be a church growth coach. And we teach you how to be a business coach. There's 4 different levels. Well, inside of Confidence University, you get that first level where you can become a certified life coach. It's amazing. And outside of Confidence University, it costs you $2,500 to go through my program. And you're learning from America's #1 confidence coach. I built successful 6- and 7-figure coaching business myself, and I can help you be able to do that. So if you just sign up for Confidence University, we tuck that inside the package just for those of you who want to connect through that university. I hope you do. So coaching is a great way to get started. Let me give you the next one. The next one is books, becoming an author. Every single one of you, I guarantee you have a story, just like I have a story. You have something that happened to you in your life. Life handed you a lemon, and you turned that lemon into what? Lemonade. But I always teach you this. Don't just turn it into lemonade, sell the lemonade for profit. And that's where you take your pain. I teach you how to take your pain, put it on paper, and then take it to print, and then sell that book for a profit. And inside Confidence University, by the way, I have a whole training. We just recorded it recently on our book writers boot camp, where we teach you the A to Z, from writing the book all the way to network marketing, to social networking, to how to sell it, to how to market it to the masses, to should I get a publisher, should I not get a publisher. All of that is tucked in to the Confidence University. You're going to be able to learn the ins and outs so that you can start building your book and you can start making money in your underwear just like we did. So this is one of the things that I'm really, really passionate about. And I really, really want to challenge you to start thinking, not scarcity. I want you to think abundance. How can I get multiple streams of income coming into my life? Now, increasing your wealth and reducing your debt. I hope you get this one thing. It's not a one-size-fits-all t-shirt like so many of the gurus try to give you. As a matter of fact, I've found that there are 5 and maybe not even more different paths that you need to take to be able to build wealth and eliminate your bad debt in your life. And everybody's not the same. There's different paths, there's different ways that you can do that. Your responsibility is to create your personal wealth path. Now, Jeremiah 33:3 says, "Call upon me and I will answer thee and show thee things that you know not."